Dude, I am so excited for this. I've been excited for this all week. Dude, ask my wife. I've been talking about it ever since last Sunday night when we did just the most random Sunday night hangout in the shop. I've been excited for it all week. It's the most laid back, just chill, little shooting the breeze in the garage with the homies, whatever type of vibe. And I've been itching for it all week. It's crazy, dude. I've been getting through all the other stuff just to get to the Sunday night hangout. And I'm being for real, dude. I don't know what it is. Last week it organically happened because I had an old friend come to the shop and we were having a hoot that ran a little too long. And I didn't want to leave the crew hanging and not post a video, so I figured let's just do a little hangout. Let's just keep it chill on a Sunday night. Nobody needs anything too serious on a Sunday night anyway. Life is already hard enough. Life is already too serious. So let's just keep it chill over here. And I figure maybe there's somebody out there that just needs a homie on a Sunday night. And here we are. Here's a good place to hang out. Let's keep it chill. Dude, I need a homie tonight. Because, dude, if you know Jacksonville Jaguars, dude, brother, we were this close. We were this close. Dude, even if you live in Jacksonville, even if you're not a huge football dude or whatever, you felt it today. You felt, dude, I was going to Publix. I was going all over the place. I couldn't find a single person that wasn't wearing a Jaguars shirt. I was wearing a Jaguars hoodie. It's in the truck right now. But, dude, everybody was showing love and support, and we all were just so excited. But, dude, we were nervous. You could tell, dude, every time I brought it up to a random in public, it was kind of just this like tension in the air, like, yeah, dude, I'm excited. But you're really like biting your nails, dude. Why has it got to be the Bills? Dude, we could play anybody else first and I wouldn't have felt this way, but the Bills, I don't know, maybe in the back of my noggin, I just knew. It is what it is, man. I'm stoked that we made it this far. Regardless, I don't even want to talk about it anymore because it's depressing. Dude, me and my whole family, we were just sitting on the edge of our seat, watching the game, excited about it all. Whatever, dude. We'll get them next time. But, yeah, I had an idea all day in my mind of what I was going to do when I got in here. Which was, dude, I'll show you. Let's walk and talk. Okay, this is only the second time we're doing a Sunday night shop hang, but I feel like there's already rules in place, which is like, dude, there's no structure here at all. It's all one take. We're just gonna hang out and shoot the breeze. Dude, I don't know what to tell you, but my plan was to hold on. Let me adjust this. There's no structure here, but I do want it to look all right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, check out this shirt that my mother-in-law got me. I don't know if you can see it or if the lighting's all right, but dude, I'll smile in my mugshot for my babies, for my wife, for my family, and for any one of you guys. I'll smile in the mugshot, and I know there's a couple homies out there on the channel that'll do the same. Real recognize real, brother. Anywho, I appreciate you guys. Let me just say that. My plan was to get in here and pull out a couple white folding tables and absolutely take this down to the bare bones. I was going to drop the lower unit. I was going to take the prop off. I was going to take the tilt assembly out. I was going to remove flywheel, manifolds, the ECU. I basically was going to completely disassemble this motor and just have it laid out on white folding tables, have certain things in boxes and in big Ziploc bags, and then start listing this stuff on Facebook Marketplace, because we're already moving back in the right direction with this Century 1902 bay boat over here. Dude, let me adjust the camera again. I'm trying to keep it on the fly, but this here Century 1902 bay boat, I'm starting to part certain things out. Okay, we're keeping the boat. We got the new motor on the back, runs like a top. Everything's good to go. But there are some other random odds and ends, miscellaneous things that I've already taken off the boat that we can recoup some money and make this whole project a little less stressful. So I was going to do that in today's video, but to be honest, I think that's a little too stressful for a Sunday night hangout. So I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be a complete teardown. Maybe we will learn a thing or two along the way. Maybe we stumble across crazy things deeper into that motor. Maybe we don't. Regardless, it's gonna be a fun time tomorrow, but I'm just gonna save that. Okay, save that. And today we're just gonna chill and talk about life, man. But I've already started to sell some stuff. Today was a big Facebook Marketplace day for the kid, and it's worth talking about. So I'm happy to tell you we get to go over to the whiteboard. So let's cruise over there. I love doing whiteboard stuff, so bear with me as I'm just super excited about this, like a kid in a candy shop. All right, so let's put up here Century 1902. Bingo. Let's say purchased for $3,300. No big deal. Chill little 33 bands, whatever. 33 bones, banditos. Anywho, we purchased it for $3,300. Bingo. That's where we started. Okay. We have since put into it $4,000. That's it. $3,300 and $4,000. Boom. That's it. Because we bought the new 2006 Yamaha F-115 outboard on the back. Technically, that's all it needed. Now we just have to push it through the finish line. You know what I mean? But regardless, we spent $4,000, which means as of right now, we are sitting at, bingo, obviously easy math, man. What was I thinking? $7,300, which is kind of spooky, kind of stressful, especially in this market right now. Nothing is consistent at all. There's only one other Century 1902. It's obviously in really good condition, but it doesn't have a T-top, and it's basically the same setup, and it's listed for like $13,000. But that's what I'm saying. It's been on there for a little while. There's no consistency. One day things are posted super expensive. The other day they mark them down and half the price, but they're still sitting on the market. It's super inconsistent and it's super weird. But regardless, right now we are in the boat, $7,300. Let me see if you can see. Yeah, you can see that. But like I said, today, turning the tables a little bit, putting a little more money back on the table to bring that top line down a little bit, relieve some stress. Okay, so I'll tell you what I sold and then I'll tell you how it happened. So the first thing that we sold, so a nice minus, although we're adding a little bread to the table, it was subtracting from the top line, whatever, minus $600 sold the T-top, and minus $160 sold the cooler seat over there. So hopefully, I just want to keep adding minus this with that motor specifically. I know we'll be able to sell the ECU for like $400. I know we'll be able to sell that lower unit. Stuff like that will pretty much, fly off the shelf. Other things we might have to hang on to a little bit longer, like random valve covers and, body panels and hoses, like little things like that we might be hanging on to for a little while. But looking at it, like the cowling, list that for $100. Like, we're gonna be adding more subtractions to this top line, so I'm excited about that. But let me tell you about selling the T-top and the cooler, because it's kind of interesting. I So the homie that bought the T-top actually came from the channel, which is awesome. Dude, I so much rather and prefer making deals with homies from the videos. I'm always down to make a deal. You know, if it just happens organically through Facebook Marketplace and they're not a homie, they're not from the channel or whatever, I'm gonna say it's a dog-eat-dog world. Okay, I'm trying to get the biggest bang for my buck, put the most bread on the table for my family as humanly possible. Okay? But if you come from the channel, I promote it all the time. I want it to happen all the time. I will make a deal, yo. For real. To be honest, I didn't know much about the T-top. He messaged me about it pretty early on in the videos when I was even just mentioning parting out the boat. I didn't know anything about it. So we talked. I did a little research and I kind of got the ballpark of what it was worth. But I wasn't going to charge the homie that. You know what I'm saying? So he offered $600. I said, dude, let's do it. 600, you know, win-win for both of us. I get to add a, you know, minus mark. You get a good deal on a T-top. I'm pretty sure it was worth well over 12 or $1,300. I couldn't find another T-top in general less than $1,500 in any type of close range to where I'm at right now. So he knew a lot about this one. He actually drove from Knoxville, Tennessee, which the T-top was a Fishmaster something, and he told me that they actually make those in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is crazy. But yeah, he threw his son in the truck, hopped in the Tacoma, and drove all the way over to Skiff land to make the deal. So dude, those two dudes were amazing. It was such a pleasure to meet them. It was such a pleasure to do business with them. If you ever need anything, like if you're watching this and you ever need anything, let me know. Brother, you need me to smile in a mugshot? Let me know. Seriously, they were really cool people. It's super cool that they drove here all the way from Knoxville to pick up the T-top. I mean, I guess that goes to show like how good of a deal it was. I still don't know too much about it, but I think $600 is a good deal. Let me know what you think for a nice T-top. Whenever we took it out of the back of the garage and moved it out there and took the canvas off the top, and it actually looked really good. It was a lot more nice than I remembered it actually. So I was stoked that it was a good T-top going to a good home, and stuff like that makes me very happy. So yeah, I mean, this is like an open invitation. If you want to buy anything that I have in here or have for sale, whatever, I will give the homies so much better of a deal than I'm gonna give the random average Joe on Facebook Marketplace. Like, I'm not gonna lie out here, dude. When I sell stuff on Marketplace, usually, like, I swing for the fences, and lately it's been happening. It's been connecting, dude. I don't know what's going on. Like, things have been great from a selling aspect on Facebook Marketplace. Things have been good. But I'm not too worried about it, honestly, if I get to build a connection, build a bridge with any homie from the channel. You know, you want to buy a motor, you want to buy a part that I have in here. If I get a new project and I'm starting to take things off and you see something that catches your eye, feel free. I encourage you to email me first, because I would love to make a deal. Oftentimes I give a lot of stuff away, but like I just appreciate the community here so much that is like a really easy way for me to give back to anybody that needs something, whatever. I don't want to ramble on too much about that. You get the gist. I'm down to help the homies out anytime if there's something that you need, whatever. And then the cooler seat, some guy messaged me about it also on Facebook. It wasn't Facebook Marketplace. So, dude, I don't even know why I said it was a big Facebook Marketplace day. It was just like, he messaged me on Facebook and wanted to buy the cooler seat. I told him, like, it's okay. Like the condition is all right. You can come check it out. I'm not gonna tell you like a price or anything, because I personally don't value it very high. The upholstery is kind of dry rotted. The mechanics of the cooler seat are, you know, kind of failing. But if you're just looking for a base to build off of, it's a good starter base, I guess. Feel free to come check it out. Throw an offer in there. To be honest, I had it in my mind. Like, I'm ready to just get it out of the shop. So whatever number he throws out there, we'll shake hands on it. And he showed up. I actually don't even think that he was from the channel. I think he saw the cooler seat in the back of another listing, which was interesting. And then he just messaged me personally with a screenshot of the cooler seat just in the back of the picture. He was like, by chance, would you be down to sell this? I was like, yeah. Anyways, he showed up, checked it out. He offered me 160 bones for it. Dude, sign me up. Let's do it. 160 for that. I think if I would have listed it on Marketplace, I would have listed for like 200 bucks anyway. So, dude, have at it. He was a cool guy too. So yeah, we're moving in the right direction. I think, because I'm gonna put a little more money into it. I'm not gonna lie. The lean post, I'm probably gonna spend upwards of 900 bucks on a lean post, unless I can find a good used one. And then the upholstery, I'm prepared to spend like 400 or 500 bucks on just those two cushions in the front anyway. So, which, I mean, I don't know. When I look at it, cushions are a huge upsell, but I mean, it's not super necessary. So I'll go the cushion route. If I can blend everything together, maybe get the lean post upholstery and those two things all the same pattern and color, I think that would really throw this boat into a whole nother category price wise and desirability wise. So I'm definitely down to do that. I guess if I did all three things, then maybe up the budget to another 900 or 1,000. So we're already at 18 or 1900 bucks on top of where we're at already. So like, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, we're probably gonna be invested total around $10,000 or $11,000. That's why I'm really looking more into parting certain things out. Just little things, you know, like when I take these batteries out, I usually wouldn't resell the regular deep cycle batteries, but in this scenario, I think I'm going to try and stretch every dollar that I can. So when I do the upgrade to lithium batteries, I'm going to actually list the deep cycle batteries up for sale. What else do we have? Like, I'm going to try and make this motor, like, I'm going to squeeze as much money out of this motor as I possibly can. So if you need anything for a 2006 Yamaha F115, let me know. I got some stuff over here. Aside from the lower cylinder on the cylinder head and maybe the lower cylinder on the power head, everything else is pretty good. So, and visually it looks really nice as well. It's not all beat up or anything. So, dude, let me know if you need something, because I would like to be totally invested 10 or 11,000, but subtract enough to where we're really at like 8 or 9,000. I don't know how we're gonna get there, but one way or the other, we're gonna get there, brother. We're gonna figure out a way to make it happen. And then, like, other than the upholstery and the lean post, we just got to make the outside look pretty. Underneath, do a nice acid wash. That's pretty easy. That's like a 30-minute ordeal. I'm excited to do that in the next couple of days. And then figure out what we're going to do up here, whether we buff and wax this and make it super shiny again, maybe find new decals, or if we take it all down nice and smooth and then get it wrapped. I'm not 100% sure which direction we're going to go. There are some gouges, so we'd probably have to fair it out before getting it wrapped, which would be a pretty extensive process as well. But I think it'd be worth it. Maybe just a beautiful, nice black wrap black wrap down here, and then get a windshield up top, tinted really dark black. I think would tie everything together. I think it would be sweet. Obviously, just wrap from this bottom line up and leave the bottom exposed. I don't know, that I'd be into that. I'm just thinking out loud over here. Nice black wrap. Maybe get some lettering for the Century and the decal logo, which is actually pretty sweet with the horse. Kind of like a Ferrari vibe. It's the Ferrari of the sea over here, brother. But dude, yeah, I don't know. That's just where I'm at with all the Century stuff. Made a little money today, put a little bread back on the table. My idea actually is to, all the money that I make off of parting things out, certain things, I'm not going to put it in a bank account. I'm not going to like add it to any other money that I have. I'm going to keep it in a shoebox. So I literally know by the end of this whole deal, especially when we sell the whole boat, it'll all just go in a shoebox so I can relay actual numbers. This is actually how much money we pulled out of this exact project, not ballpark numbers or anything. I want to have a spreadsheet of exactly how much we put into it and exactly how much we got out of it. And I don't know, that stuff is more interesting to me lately. I try my best, to be honest, lately, try my best to just break even, and anything above that is fantastic. But, you know, I'm gonna swing for the fences on this one for sure. Let's see, dude. Honestly, I've been really wanting to shoot the bow and arrow, the compound bow, and I haven't touched it all week because the last Sunday, straight up, was the first time I ever shot a compound bow ever in my life. I've owned a few compound bows, but I've never thrown arrows down a range or anything at all. So I had a lot of fun last weekend. So I figured, like, as you can see, I got the target set up. Okay, she's sitting right next to the Century. So we're gonna see if we can make something happen. Let me put you, dude, this is pretty far, but I figure, you know, I'm gonna show you one over here, trying to hit the target, and then we'll move the camera over there, vice versa. Let me go grab the compound bow, and then, I don't know, man, let's sling some arrows. Dude, by the end of, I don't know, a couple of Sunday night hangs in the shop, maybe 6 or 7 in a row. Maybe at some point we try to like kick things up a notch, maybe cruising on the ruckus, like make some type of competition thing going on, dude, like on a horse. Dude, if I somehow evolve to being a horse-ridden archer, that would be sick. So I took everybody's advice, or at least I consumed everybody's advice in the comments last Sunday, because everybody was telling me that I need to use this release, this trigger thing. To be honest, I don't know how to use it. Like, that's why I didn't. So I was using my fingers last time. Everybody was telling me that was super dangerous, and they were telling me that was why my arrows were pulling in a different direction. But to be honest, I'm just keeping it real around here. I have never used a compound bow, so I've never used one of these before, one of the releases. So let me, I guess, try and figure it out. Obviously, I wish somebody was here right now so that, okay, I think I put it through here. Obviously, anybody watching that's like a bow hunter or whatever is going to be cringing right now, but the kid's learning. And also, I might say, okay, here's a question. Do you put the release on top of this where you put the arrow or below? I'm gonna go below. I guess. I obviously don't want to. Okay, this came loose, so I need to tighten that up quite a bit. I'm pretty sure that's how you do it. To be honest, like I said, I don't know, man. So what's going on here? Because I'm trying to, when I put tension on the strap, on the handle, dude, okay. When I put tension on, it just slides out. All right, man. I'm gonna have to figure this out off camera. So shield your eyes, because for the time being, your boy's going to use the fingers and hope for the best. Hopefully we don't smack a Century 1902 down there. What would be worse? I guess there's a cowling, there's a Mercury 30 behind it, there's a Minn Kota power drive to the left. There's just a wooden wall on the back. So I mean, there's some valuable things over there. There's a gas tank. This is all just, and then obviously the boat is right over there. So I mean, we have to be on our P's and Q's here, but I don't know, a little risk kind of makes it more exciting. But let me tell you what, considering how the day has gone, with the Jaguars losing in such depressing fashion, losing on an interception, if I make an expensive mistake over here right now, I'm going to be somewhat more bummed than I would be on just any other given Sunday. So here goes nothing. I mean, we're a little low of the bullseye, but we got pretty close. The best thing here is that we did not smack anything other than the target. I'm actually really stoked on this. Okay, let me set you up, because we're gonna put some stakes right here on this next one. I'm going straight up for in this white circle right here. I mean, I'm pretty stoked on this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Also, I know that these aren't exactly the arrows that you'd want to be shooting at a target by any means. They don't just go in and out, they're broadhead, whatever. But it's all I got. This is just what came with the Facebook Marketplace deal. So this is what I'm using right now. And these are just a bunch of extra like garage tiles from up in the boxing area up top. Which, dude, we might go up there in a little bit. I kind of want to. But regardless, I know I'm using the wrong arrows. It is what it is. I don't value these at anything, so if anything goes wrong or they break or they get dull or whatever, I'm not super bummed about it, because if I was ever gonna use this bow for anything other than just shooting at some trashy little target, I'd probably invest in some better stuff. But all of that is down the road. The only inconvenience these put on the table right now is that they're kind of hard to pull out of the target. If I was using the practice arrows or whatever that don't have the like broad arrow tips, whatever, I'm pretty sure they'd come in and out pretty easily. Whatever, dude, it doesn't matter. I just want to let you know, if you saw out of the corner of your eye me using the wrong types of arrowheads, I just wanted there to be an explanation out there in the fine print as to why that was. Okay, here are the stakes. If I don't hit the white center, boy's doing 25 push-ups. We're gonna turn this into some type of health and wellness deal. Boil, gonna drop and do 25. Okay. Extending the bow. Ooh, that's close. Hold on, I can't really see. It's close. No! Okay, dude, I mean, I'm not bummed about, I mean, if you like, dude, there's a little bit of white right here. And like the way I think about it, if you were allergic to white, if you were allergic to white anything right here, dude, you'd be getting a rash. It doesn't take much. Let me pull that out, get a better look. But no, I'm not gonna count that. Although dude, there's a little bit of overspray over here that we might be able to, man, it is what it is. It is what it is, dude. Obviously, you probably don't care about this, so fast forward for just a second. If you don't want to see the kid drop down and do 25, so boy's gonna do 25. Let's do it. Honestly, you should drop and do 25 also. I'll wait. Dude, let's do it together. We're gonna turn this into a real health and wellness Sunday night. Whatever, dude. Hopefully you're ready. Assume the position. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. How's my form? I always lose count, dude. I'm pretty sure I'm close though. One more for safe measure. Form was probably weird, whatever. Let's just leave that in the past. But can't stress to you enough, I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm gonna do 20, 25, I'm gonna drop down and do them. Okay, dude, let's try this one more time. I gotta think of some other type of stakes to put on the line though. I'll think about that while I'm walking over here. I don't want to do 25 more, let me tell you that much. Ugh. Let's see. Bingo. I'm going for that center shot again. I don't know if you can tell. I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath. Dude, let's just not put any stakes on this right now. Honestly, comment what the stakes should be for next week so I don't have to think about it. Okay, I've extended the bow. Dang, man. I'm gonna shoot another one down the range. See if we can make something happen before I walk over there. Okay, yeah, comment below what the stakes should be on a bullseye. I'm okay with high stakes. Ooh. Dude, hold on, catastrophic failure. I know that the arrow just exploded. I don't know how that went so low. Dude, I saw sparks. It went low. This is what the arrow's looking like right now. Where's the other part of the arrow? Over here. I mean, ooh, yeah, okay. Blew out the back end. And the arrow is missing a corner piece. I honestly have no idea what happened. I was aiming the same way. I'm assuming that is what could go wrong with using your fingers. Just how they release or whatever. I'm sure that's probably what it is. So, oh, dude. What a bummer. I'll probably call it quits on the the bow and arrow for a little bit. Where's my water? Dude, boy's out of breath off of 25 push-ups. I will say, lately, even though I had a pretty... Hold on. I didn't want the microphone to go out. Okay. Even though I had somewhat of a scare out there on the Sea-Doo last week, whatever, I feel like my heart has been doing pretty good. So, I don't know. With that being said, if you've noticed, I've been a lot happier lately. That would be why. Because, I've tried to say this before, the more good days in a row that you can just stack together, whatever, the spooky thoughts kind of get pushed back. They're not as close to the top of your mind, I guess. But when I'm having more bad days in a row, the spooky, doomed feeling of what's gonna happen, how long until this happens, whatever, all of those things are pretty, it's spooky stuff, man. But like I said, this is Sunday. No sense in talking about the bad. Let's focus on the good. And there's been a lot of good. I've been feeling great lately. Other than, dude, me being just out of breath completely, straight up off of 25 push-ups. I don't know. I'm going to the gym later tonight after the last NFL game. Dude, we're going up top. It's been a while since we boxed together. If you've never hung out up here, it's just a chill vibe. Obviously, we have the boxing area. This is all of my gloves, wraps, jump rope, whatever. This is the loft, so to speak. Bird's eye view of the Century 1902 bay boat. The Sea-Doo Fish Pro, Ruckus. Got the old tractor hiding back there. See a sliver. Got the e-scooter over there, dude. Man, we got some toys in here, let me tell you what. Got some Mickeys in that back corner. Couple motors laying around, whatever. Dude, that polling platform, I've actually had it listed on Facebook Marketplace for a little while now, and nobody's really even messaging me about it. It's crazy. I thought for sure somebody was gonna message me about it. But, dude, let's set this up and let's just have a little hoot back here, or up here, rather. Like I said, it's just a chill. I guess what I'm trying to say is, what are some just bro things to do on a Sunday night in the garage? You're telling me if you have a compound bow and a target set up, you're never gonna just want to shoot it? You're telling me you got a bag up top with some rubber mats, you're not gonna want to move around a little bit? No shot, dude. Like, that's what I'm saying. Dude, it's been a while since dude, gotta pop the wedding ring off. Don't wanna give the boy a shiner. My wraps were super soaked in sweat from the last time I was up here putting some rounds in. Obviously, we're not gonna spend too much time up here, but I like to I don't know, move around a little bit. I don't know if you've ever wrapped your hands, but with these like Velcro wraps, whatever, it's pretty chill. 3 pretty tight around the wrist. Might go one more. These are actually pretty long wraps. But if you've ever thrown some punches on a dense boxing type heavy bag without a wrap, dude, like, you'll realize why you want to wrap. Like, your wrist, you know, you catch one wrong angle or whatever on the bag, your wrist starts to hurt so bad. And I mean, it helps the knuckles feel a little better too, especially with my gloves. I've had them for years just for like bag training and mitts and whatever. So they're pretty worn down, broken in gloves. So I actually need wraps. Otherwise I'll hurt my knuckles, specifically this knuckle right here. I don't know if you can see. This one kind of pops out a little higher than the rest, so it makes more contact. So usually I'll feel a little more pain up there. Back in the day when I was training regularly, dude, it was all calloused, completely calloused, because it would hurt so bad, and I would just show up the next day, train again, over and over and over and over again, to the point where it just calloused so bad, like I didn't feel pain at all. Anywho, go from the wrist to the knuckles. Keep your fingers spaced out like this. Might do 2 over here, just to get some extra padding, maybe even 3. But on the third one, come back down to the wrist, and then come back up through the pinky. And then over the knucks. And you're just gonna repeat this process down around the wrist, up through these fingers. Just as much protection, tightness, so you can keep that form over the knucks. You see it starts to build a pretty attractive pattern as well if you do it right. I'm just trying to get it flat. It's been hanging over here for a couple days, so. And then back around the wrist, last finger, one more over the knucks, and now I have so much extra wrap. One more back around here. Lock the thumb into place. One more over here. Now I'm just gonna kind of use the rest. Wrist, knucks, back to the wrist. Keep it real nice and tight. And there you go. Boom. It's not as much for comfort as it is for keeping your hand safe. You don't want to break your hand on a bad punch. I've never really gone in depth talking about this. I've briefly mentioned in the past that like, I don't care about doing things right or wrong on other things in the shop. Like working on boats, you'll see me get squirrely quite often. You know, using the wrong tools, maybe not measuring something here and there, whatever. Because although I am passionate in the boating industry and the marine mechanics, or at least I'm developing more of a passion here lately in the marine mechanics portion of it all. But boxing is absolutely my first love. It's the only thing that hasn't like fizzled away. You know what I'm saying? Like, even through it all, having to stop actively training because of my heart, I still try to find time here and there, and I really, really care about doing it the right way, if that makes sense. So, dude, I don't care if somebody's in their garage using a tool the wrong way. I don't care about, like, if you use the wrong type of wood on your John boat floor, whatever, or, dude, you use the wrong type of resin on your fiberglass. None of that stuff really bothers me, I guess, because it is what it is, man. They're like, at the end of the day, you're gonna get out there on the water. It's probably gonna be fine. You might have to change materials later down the road, do a little more work, whatever. But it is what it is. Just a weekend project at the end of the day. But I'm super passionate in fighting, and it's basically the one thing in my life that I've actually cared about being as perfect as possible, if that makes sense. So training my whole life, I wasn't just in there doing whatever. I was focusing, I was learning, I was listening more than talking. I was asking as many questions as possible. I wasn't skipping any like steps along the way. I absolutely respected the process, and I wasn't rushing anything. Dude, I'm actually getting like emotional talking about it a little bit because I miss it so badly. I had big hopes and big dreams in the sport. I mean, boxing was number one, but I was doing Muay Thai, I was rolling jiu-jitsu, full martial arts classes. I'd go in on wrestling days, striking. Dude, I love it so much. That's why still to this day, my favorite time is when there's actually a good UFC fight building up. I don't know. I just love it more than anything. Yeah, I miss it a lot. It's actually how I figured out that I have heart failure, because I was training, whatever. I talked about this in a few videos ago, but I was training, and at the end of every session, I just felt like I was dying randomly. I'd have to take knees a lot of the time. Whatever, dude. There's no point in talking about it, dude. I'm getting bummed out. But I miss fighting more than anything. Yeah, it is what it is. So, dude, it's getting me bummed out. Anyways, I care about this. I care about being as close to perfect as possible, talking about form, talking about anything. So, I don't know. Dude, I've been thinking about one thing, though. I've been thinking about it. If we ever got into this topic a little bit, I've always wanted to explain this because it's one of my favorite things. I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, I care about a jab so much more than just probably the average Joe. I love a good jab. When I sit down to watch a boxing match or whatever, I get so excited to see somebody really start things off with a stiff jab. When I see them have a stiff jab, especially lately in the like YouTuber transition to like superstar boxing type deal, sometimes they come out, and every once in a while, if they come on and they just have a stiff jab randomly, I'll kind of like, dude, I'll look at my wife and be like, dude, I think there might be something here, dude. Like, everybody's like, oh, YouTuber this, YouTuber that. He's not a boxer, but dude, you can tell a lot by somebody's jab. So anyways, I care about a jab a lot. And there's multiple reasons for the jab. And one of the coolest things about a jab is that if you ever get in a street fight out here, nobody's throwing jabs really. Dude, let me show you what everybody's throwing in street fights. They're either starting from back here and they're like walking up with like a right hand, like, and they're trying to clobber you. Super easy, it's telegraphed from a mile away. You can obviously just, move out of the way. It's pretty easy. Or there's a bunch of like, they're back here, and they want to throw like haymakers. Just random looping, huge outside punches. They're always going for the knockout. They're always going for the kill shot. So it's like, if you just present a jab in a street fight, it's almost like it confuses them. And I've used this multiple times. Been in a couple street fights in my day, whatever. And it's like, dude, I don't know how to explain it. If you're standing there and you get in your stance and they're like ready to just try and knock you out, and you just like pop them with a jab, you see it in their face. You pop them, and they just like, hi guy, and they look back and they're kind of, because obviously it's not going to knock them out, but getting jabbed in the bottom lip doesn't feel good, and it's surprising. They just go, where did that come from? So you can kind of like point fight and just walk around. You don't even have to set up a big punch with guys like this on the streets, because they usually have their arms down and they're trying to do this and get a big shot, or they weirdly are holding their hands like this, but whenever they go to throw a big punch, they drop their hands and do that. So I mean, you can like step outside and just jab and catch points, whatever. It'll really tire them out also, because like obviously random street fighters don't control their breathing very well. So if you're just constantly putting pressure on their bottom lip, on their nose, dude, it hurts so bad, especially in the winter. If you're in a street fight and somebody just like pops you in the nose in the cold, brother, dude, oh my goodness, oh, it doesn't feel good. So if you can just start to present a jab in a street fight, dude, you're probably gonna take it home. Probably gonna take the W in that one. But I don't know who said this. It was years and years and years ago, and it stuck with me so hard. And I try to tell it to anybody that I can when talking about jabs, because I care about it so much, dude. So with the jab, you have some options, okay? And it was described to me this way by a coach years ago. My favorite thing though, he used to say it all the time. It was a coach back in the day talking about the jab, and he was referencing, dude, doesn't it suck whenever you wake up for work and realize you forgot that you had to put gas in the car, especially if it's a Monday. So let's say that your job is here and you're here. Wouldn't it be great if you could just wake up at the gas station, like halfway here? You don't have to wake up and drive to the gas station. Wouldn't it be great if you just woke up and you were magically at the gas station, essentially halfway? So it's kind of hard to explain, but if you start here at home, you got to travel all the way to the gas station and then to work, whatever. It's been a couple years since I've actually said this out loud or heard it from anybody, so bear with me, but the gist is there. So wouldn't it be great if you could just wake up and start halfway there, start at the gas station? That'd be fantastic. You wouldn't have to go through the trouble of driving to the gas station because you woke up at the gas station. You're already there. So with that being said, there's two ways I guess you can throw a jab. From your guard back here, you could throw a jab, boom, like this, whatever. Or you could add movement to it and make your jab like drive to the gas station, whatever. Be at the gas station. Wake up at the gas station so you don't have to go to the gas station and then go to work. So instead of sitting right here cozy in your bed, find a way to have your jab hand at the gas station so you can just go straight to work. So usually I'm like moving around and I'll have my hand kind of like pawing out right here a little bit. So it's not coming all the way from the cozy bed and having to find its way over here, risking being telegraphed a little bit, whatever. So I just try and find a way through movement to already have it here, because I'm not trying to make my jab my power punch. So I'm not worried about really like stepping into it and like stiffing my jab out like this and trying to push through him, whatever. I'm just trying to touch him. I'm trying to touch him. I'm trying to point fight, whatever. I'm trying to bust his nose up a little bit. It really doesn't take much. So I usually move around a little bit, whatever, and maybe on a feint sometimes have my hand lingering out here. So it's already halfway there. We're waking up at the gas station and then we can just go to work. Does that make sense? So instead of walking around like this, whatever, boom, from the outside, I'm walking around and I'm feinting. I'm having my hands out here, I'm pawing a little bit, and then I'm already halfway there. Halfway there already. Just from my hand being here, I have to travel half the distance. Here to here is way shorter and way faster, way sneakier than here to here. So if I start here, dude, I could start right next to his face. If you can find a way to sneak your hand right next to the face, like you're pawing around, whatever, you have these looks, these feints. You're over here, you're like right there, maybe a double jab. It makes a lot of sense with the double jab because you can start back here, start in the cozy bed, whatever, and you can find your jab, but instead of like bringing it all the way back, putting it back in the chamber, you could hit your jab and then on the way back, another jab. So you're still right there. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to travel the whole distance again. So when you're moving around, you could start here, cozy bed. You could hit your jab, find your jab, but on the way back, boom, you're double jabs. Does that make sense? I don't know. I get really carried away talking about this stuff because I care about it quite a bit. But usually me, I don't know, I like to put like footwork into it a little bit more and kind of feint my way out. It's not a very traditional boxing stance. It definitely is the product of training so many different things, a lot of Muay Thai, light on your feet type of fighting. So when I'm boxing and I'm looking for my jabs and trying to establish my jab, there's a lot of moving around and feints and everything just to set up that power shot. But sometimes I don't even care about the power shot. I'm keeping it real. I really, really enjoy a good jab. There's really like nothing to it. Whenever you find your rhythm with a jab, you establish it. You're waking up at the gas station, everything's working for you, moving and grooving. I don't know. To me, there's no better flow that you could be in than whenever you really are working your jab, dude. It looks so good. Obviously, you got the other guys that they're in their shell and then they're waiting and they'll counter right hand, whatever, and they're looking for that money shot. That's cool too. Whenever you get the knockout, whenever you get the power punch, the good connection, it is nice to see. But dude, I love watching somebody just skate around, touching them, point fighting, so to speak, but it's just so graceful. They never stutter step or anything. It's just all fluent, and they're in and out, they're moving around, they're punching here, punching there. Everything is just making sense. It all just looks so fluent, you know? I love that. So that's why I've trained my jabs so much. Back in the day, I would just do rounds like that. I wouldn't even have my right glove on most of the time. I would just go to the gym, whatever. I'm hitting jabs for hours, low jabs, kind of just like spacing myself out type of jab, low, high jabs, low jabs, boom. Just learn how to pop it. And like, obviously it's not hitting you back, so you can sit there and do 2,000 jabs a day, 3,000 jabs a day, and just really try and sharpen your axe a little more. I would do that all the time. Dude, I'm bored on a Wednesday afternoon, I'm gonna go to the gym, put the wraps on, and just jab all day, jab all day, jab, 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 boom, boom, boom. Dude, I'm here like, I want to just keep jabbing all day, dude. Like, I know I'm hanging out with the homies, but I just want to jab all night. Obviously, some pretty, some not, whatever. I wouldn't say I'm exactly in my flow state right now, but if I got in it, it would really be graceful, and I'd tank the whole video, and I would sit here and dance around this bag for 45 minutes straight up. Boom. So back in the day, I'll just tell you this, okay? Back in the day, first round, all jabs. I'd go 3 minutes, all jabs, working around, no right hand at all, no right hand involvement at all. Up top, I'd be walking around, high, low, moving around, making sure to just touch him over and over again. Second round, I'd take my minute break, whatever. Second round, I would be straight rights. So I'd kind of set it up with the jab a little bit. I would set it up, boom, boom, boom. Nothing too crazy, just start to involve that right hand a little bit more. Just, I'm not really jabbing. Let me explain this. So, try and dodge this punch. Easy to dodge, you know what I'm saying? Now, try to dodge this punch. Okay, I'll tell you when I'm coming. You see what I'm saying? If I'm blocking your field of view, all of your vision, and I'm coming up, boop, touch you. You didn't see it coming. So oftentimes, your jab, you're not always grabbing points, you're not even touching him. Sometimes you're just setting up, you're hiding his view of your right hand, boom. See what I'm saying? So first round, all jabs. Second round, setting up that straight right. Just getting the right hand involved a little bit, moving your hips a little bit more, putting them all in there. That's for 3 minutes. Rest for a minute, come back round 3. Now you're working your hooks. I really enjoy a good hook also on the bags, you know, get in real close, put your hips involved. You can set those up with jabs too, whatever, open them up. Boom, 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 boom. I love a good hook, man, on a heavy bag. Something about it, dude, it sounds good. Feels good, get some aggression out. You can really put a lot of power behind it, especially when you have the wraps on and a good pair of gloves. You can really make make good smacking sounds. Feels good. You can put all of your weight into it, your hip, whatever. And then the next round, you know, I like to set things up, do a little bit more. So you can jab, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. You know, you can I just want that round to be moving around, kind of putting everything together a little bit more. I want to see it all. Boom. High hooks, low hooks, boom. Combos. Start working on a 1, 2, 3 from outside. Maybe do a bunch of 1, 2, 3s. So you can start incorporating that left hook. Boom. Next round, I used to like to do this on the water bag, the teardrop. So you can really hit uppercuts down below. Those water bags are perfect, dude. I want to get one in the shop. But, you know, start working on those uppercuts as well, really sinking in. Because uppercuts are really designed to pull you out of your guard. If somebody's like this and they hit you with the uppercut straight down the pipe, usually it'll bring you up a little bit more, expose your head. So if you hit an uppercut, boom, expose the head, get a hook in there. Just little things like that, I guess. And then the next round, it's all feints. You don't touch the bag at all. You're exposing, you're moving around, you're giving them looks, you're giving them feints. The whole round, you're just moving your body, making sure you're trying to get them to react, is what you're trying to do. Ooh. Certain footwork tells your opponent what you're about to do. So you got to make them think otherwise. Whole round of feints, whatever. Because you want to get him to start reacting. If you can get your opponent to start reacting, you can really start to toy with them a lot. That's why, you know, if you spend a whole round on somebody and you're moving around, you're hitting them in the body, boom, obviously they're going to start protecting their body more. So you're hitting them in the body, you're feinting to the body, body shots, even throwing the right down below, down the pipe, body shots. And then you come out in the next round, you feint down below, up top. You know what I'm saying? They're down low. When you get them to react more, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what day it was, maybe the next round we're setting up 1, 2 kicks. Maybe we're putting knees in there. Maybe we're practicing certain combos. But I really enjoy the basics, establishing a good jab, establishing a good 1-2, establishing a good 4. I don't know why, but just a good 4, boom. If you didn't know, a jab is 1, straight right is 2, left hook 3, right hook 4, left uppercut 5, right uppercut 6. So if you ever see anybody holding pads, they're like 1-2. They're talking about a jab, cross, jab, cross. 1, 2, 3 be a jab, cross, left hook. So just maybe have somebody stand there in the corner calling out combos that they want you to drill over and over and over again for a certain round. You know, let's go like 6-3. So boom, 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 6-3, boom, 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 boom. That way you can like learn how to get in the feeling of popping their head out, boom, boom, and then hitting them on the way out. I don't know, dude, this is not what you signed up for. Let's be real. But I can't tell you how much I'm just so passionate in this stuff. So as soon as I get to yapping about it, it's kind of over from there. So, dude, if you just endured let me hang these back up. If you just endured the boxing sesh, the yapping boxing sesh, you're a real one. Dude, I don't know how we got here, but Sunday nights, anything can happen. Let's be real. Wedding ring back on. I'm married once again. Let's get out of here, dude. This definitely took an interesting turn. So tomorrow, I will say, is gonna be different. We're gonna be up on this Yamaha like white on rice. I'm being real, like taking it down. It's not gonna look like, there's gonna be no motor after tomorrow. We're gonna have an open cherry picker for any one of these motors down here because there's gonna be nothing to hang. Everything's gonna be on the ground, on white folding tables, in boxes, in bags. I don't know. I'm excited for tomorrow. I figured let's just save that for a Monday. Does that make sense? Because something's probably going to stress the kid out tomorrow. Something's probably going to annoy me during the process. Let's just save that for a Monday afternoon. Seems classic for a Monday. Dude, I don't know how we got there. I really don't. That's what I'm saying, dude. I just care about it so much. And it bums me out that I can't go back to the gyms, like, because not only is it hard for me, because sometimes I'm all good, and then other times I just have to take a knee, but there's also a liability there for the gyms as well, because the last gym I was training at, I was begging the management and everything, just please, like, don't worry about it. I take all responsibility, and they said that they really just don't want anything like what happened to me to happen again. If they can, you know, keep that stuff at a minimum for their business sake and liability, it's just a bummer. But like, obviously I could go into another gym and not disclose what's going on, but I actually do need to disclose it because the gym I was at, when I would go to spar, there'd be a good respect of, just trust me, if I have to take a knee for a second, just bear with me. But if I go to another gym, I don't know. They're not going to know anything, and I'm just going to act weird, and they're not going to know why sometimes. So maybe, I don't know, if I get enough good days in a row where I'm running, I'm up here and I'm training a little bit just to stay sharp, I'm lifting weights and everything, and I have enough days in a row on certain medications or vitamins or whatever to where I'm not having any super lull moments during the training or right after the training, then I might try and sneak my way back into a gym. And life would be cool again if I could just, if I could just spar once a week just to feel good. And I don't know, I miss it a lot, man. So obviously I love everything about Skiffland. I love hopping out on the water on a good Saturday. checking out boats. I love making a good deal on Facebook Marketplace. I love it whenever a project is finished and we get to sit back and look at everything we've done. I love everything about this industry as far as like building and purchasing and, well, dude, all of that. I love it. It's so fun. But I don't know. There's just a little kid in me that just still daydreams every day about fighting. And so that's why that whole thing just happened, I guess. You didn't plan on coming to a boxing class, I guess. But I mean, I told you before, I'm never ever gonna post a how-to video for boating or anything like that. If I ever was gonna post a how-to video or any type of, it would be boxing related. I still think down the road I'm gonna be some type of boxing coach, just so I can be in that industry somewhat. Also, dude, if there's anybody out there that wants to train a little bit, I would love to start something like that too. I would make a big portion of this warehouse like a training land for, I'll put down a bunch of those gym mats in this back section under probably some turf or something. Sell the Sea-Doo Fish Pro to where we only have one boat and one project. Keep that here, and then in the back, I would love to just make that a training zone and have homies come and just, do a little bit of sparring, moving around a little bit, rolling around a little bit, and just teaching each other things, learning things off of each other, growing in that sport. Whatever, dude. Dude, you're here for the skiffs and the hangs and the whatever. That's just a little piece of me, I don't think I'll ever be able to truly walk away from the fight game, or I don't know. So I don't want to get too sappy about that, but man, that is one of the biggest bummers, is having to walk away from your biggest dreams because your body just can't keep up anymore. Your body's failing you. You're mentally, you're there. You're moving in the right direction. You're putting all of the work in, and then one day your body just fails you. It's such a bummer. But let's, like I said, let's keep it chill on a Sunday night, and let's just, let's just not be too stressed. I'm about to get out of here and go back to my father-in-law's house, eat some pasta or something, and then watch the football games tonight, and then call it a day, get back in here tomorrow, and tear down a Yamaha 115. Dude, that's going to be it. Random Sunday night hang in the shop. I wish all you were here. I wish every single homie was here, and we were cracking soda waters and whatever you want to drink, and we were just BSing in the shop, shooting the breeze. Everybody like a little competition, shooting the compound bow, see who can hit the targets the best, whatever. Little ego matches here and there, throw the gloves on, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just a fun Sunday with the homies. I was really excited for this, and I'm already super excited for next Sunday because it's super off the wall, no rules, anything goes. Whatever's on your mind, whatever's on my mind at the time, let's just do it and let's have fun, no stress, whatever. This is just a video for the homies. Has nothing to do with the channel at all. Just homies. I wish I could go live, but to be honest, I don't know how to go live. And if I did go live, my phone is so cracked, dude. Like, it'd be hard to read what's coming across the screen. But dude, maybe next Sunday I work on figuring out how to go live, and then we all just kind of really hang out together. You know what I mean? Because we were live tonight, and I was trying to put some stakes on getting a bullseye. I could have just read the chat. You know what I mean? But maybe, dude, I'll upgrade my phone this week just with the intentions of going live. I'm like boxing the whole time. Check the phone. Everybody's like, dude, what are you doing right now? Like, dude, why are you boxing right now? Like, let's do something else. Let's hang out a little bit more. But dude, regardless, I appreciate you guys for coming and hanging out on a Sunday. if there's somebody out there that needed a homie on a Sunday night, just know that I was also a homie that needed a homie on a Sunday night, and that's why I appreciate you for being here. So, dude, I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow whenever we break down that Yamaha. I'm excited about it, but I know that there's going to be some rocky moments. So, hopefully I see you there. I'll check back in tomorrow. Peace.